Welcome back to episode 8 of the Telephone Farmer podcast. I'm your host, Diana, and today's episode is a powerful one, not just because of what happened, but because of how it was handled. We're talking about what it truly means to rebuild after a serious setback, to rise after a fall, and to do it with wisdom, strategy, and hope. So many of us, whether in farming or in life, go through seasons where everything seems to fall apart. The storms come, literally or figuratively, and we're left wondering, now what? Well, today we answer that question. And who better to walk us through the comeback than the queen of bounce backs herself, Regina, our very own telephone farmer. She's not just talking theory, she's lived through loss, took decisive action, and turned her situation around. Welcome, Regina.
Hi, Diana, and hi to all our listeners. This episode is close to my heart. I want to share how we rebuilt our farm after we were hit hard, not just by a storm, but by losses that could have shut us down completely. But they didn't, because we chose to fight back smartly, patiently, and as a team.
Regina, let's start from the beginning. Every comeback has its breaking point. What was the moment that made you realize things had gone terribly wrong?
Diana, it started with a brutal hailstorm. Our crops, especially the young pyrethrum seedlings, were hit badly. Some were shredded, others buried under mud, others carried away with water. Water flooded the land. Even parts of our fencing gave way. And the worst part, I saw it all through our remote CCTV feeds. Miles away, unable to help directly, that helplessness, it was real. It felt like watching your house burn and not being able to even pour a drop of water.
That's devastating. But knowing you, I bet you didn't stay down for long. What was your first move?
Thank you, Diana. We gathered the surviving seedlings, the ones that made it, and transferred them to one central seedbed. That way, they were easier to manage and we gave them the best chance to thrive. We had to act fast. Every seedling we saved was a small act of hope. Think of it like gathering your strength after a blow, consolidating what was left to protect it.
I love that image. Protect what's left before you try to rebuild. Let's talk water. Water is both life giving and also destructive. How did you deal with flooding?
We created temporary terraces that redirected water without needing expensive tools. Those were handmade, shaped by workers using djembes and spades. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. That water slowed down and we protected the roots. It was one of those moments where creativity met survival.
Sometimes the best tools are agency, teamwork, and whatever you have nearby. Now that things were stable, you had to decide, do we try it again? That can be scary.
It was, but we took a leap of faith. We replanted the pyrethrum. This time, we did it more deliberately. Better spacing, better watering plans, and lots of prayers. We were anxious, I won't lie, but we believed in the soil and in the work we were doing. It worked. The second planting actually sprouted beautifully. Sometimes your greatest success comes after your hardest loss.
Regina, there's one thing I remember clearly from our past discussions, your frustration with theft. What changed?
Yes, Diana, after the storm, we took no chances. We reinforced our fencing using strider post and tighter wire fencing. We also used something called droppers where we cut some of our trees and we shaped them into little sticks and we placed them in the middle of the wires. And this created a tight fencing. Then we extended our camera system and added motion triggered solar lights. These lights came on when someone passes by. It doesn't just light up the area. It startles intruders and gives our cameras clearer images, especially at night. We learned the hard way. Nature isn't your only threat. People can be too.
That's true, Regina. Security isn't just about cameras, it's also about people. Let's talk about your team.
Yes, we had to let some of our workers go. Talk about restructuring. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. There were some people who had grown too comfortable, cutting corners or taking advantage of the distance. So we trimmed the team down to those who were serious, those who were honest, and those who were consistent. Today, I can proudly say Chrysler has a strong team on the ground, a team that we trust, and a team that we depend on.
That kind of alignment makes all the difference. Trust is everything in remote management. Looking back now, what are the biggest lessons you took from this experience?
So many, Diana, so many lessons that we've learned. But personally, here are the ones that truly reshaped me and the farm. Lesson number one, salvage what can be saved. Don't dwell on what's lost. When disaster strikes, protect and build from what's still standing. My lesson number two, respond quickly with local solutions. We didn't wait for experts or money. We used djembes, sticks, and human power to create terraces on our land. So speed matters here. Lesson number three, replant with courage. Replanting isn't just agricultural, it is emotional. After loss, the hardest thing is to try again. But trying again is often the beginning of a breakthrough. My lesson number four is invest in protecting early. From fencing to cameras, prevention is cheaper than repair. I would rather oversecure than underprotect. My lesson number five is know your people. These setbacks exposes loyalty. Some workers stepped up, others gave excuses, and that clarity helped Chrysler to restructure without guilt. My lesson number six was, or don't let distance become an excuse. I know many people use distance as an excuse, but please don't. I used to think I was helpless from afar, but tools like surveillance, structured communication, and consistent feedback gave us more control than what we thought. Lesson number seven, celebrate small wins. The first time our second bunch of seedlings sprouted, oh my dear, we danced. We literally danced. The moment they shared the video, we were so happy. It gave the team energy. It also gave us a reason to celebrate, and I encourage them to celebrate often. Lesson number eight is document everything, and my husband is big on this. Every mistake, document. Every fix, document. And this, we started writing it down. This has actually become our manual for future emergencies. And lesson number nine, it is not the last, but I will stop at this point, is grateful is fuel. When you stay grateful, you stay grounded. And when you're grounded, you know grounded people don't give up easily.
They say you don't come out of a storm the same way you went in. Is that true, Regina?
Of course, it is true. You come out wiser, you come out stronger, and if you are willing, you lean into lessons.
After everything, how did you keep your heart from hardening?
Diana, I stayed grateful. I'm always grateful. I was grateful for the team that showed up. I was grateful for the seedlings that grew back. I was grateful for the chance to try again, and grateful to God for giving us the opportunity. Even when we had nothing left but the land was still rich. It still wanted to produce, and that was a gift for us.
Regina, thank you for sharing this powerful story. You just didn't rebuild the farm, you built it better.
Yes, Diana, and to everyone listening, you may not be a farmer, but we all face storms. And when you do, don't run, don't quit. Start with what's left. Work with what you have. You might just rebuild something stronger than before.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Telephone Farmer podcast. Next time, we'll dive into the financial side of farming, which will be talking about budgeting, accountability, and setting priorities when you're not physically present. Until then, this is Diana.
And this is Regina. Stay resilient, stay growing, and remember the comeback is always stronger than the setback when you rise with purpose. Thank you for listening.